Hi, I'm Lori. If you're a corporate executive assistant, you're not behind. Your role is evolving. And I want to say this clearly. AI won't replace you, but a better workflow might. So today, I'm going to walk you through 5 practical AI workflows that help you become AI ready, stay indispensable, and position yourself as promotion ready, step by step. No tech overwhelm, no complicated tools. Just workflows you can use this week. Before we start, here's the mindset shift. Your value isn't typing faster. Your value is making things clearer, faster, more decision-ready. AI helps you do that, if you use it correctly. All right, let's get into the 5 workflows. If your inbox is heavy, you're not alone. But here's the upgrade. Use AI as your first-pass assistant, not your final voice. Here's how you do it. Step 1. Copy a messy email thread, just the key parts, into your AI tool. Then prompt it like this. Summarize this thread in 5 bullets. Okay, first you're going to look for what's already been decided, because in long email threads, people repeat themselves, and sometimes the team accidentally reopens a decision that was already made. So ask yourself, what did everyone actually agree to? What option did they choose? What direction are we moving in? Then write it plainly. Decision, we are doing, or decision, we're moving forward with. If nothing is officially decided yet, don't guess. Just write, no final decision yet. One quick reminder, don't confuse suggestions with decisions. Only capture what's confirmed. Because once you clearly name the decision, you save time and keep the team aligned. Now you're ready for bullet number 2. What's still open? Now you're looking for what's not finished yet. Because open loops are where deadlines get missed and people get frustrated. So ask yourself, what still needs a decision? What still needs an answer? What are we waiting on? Then write it in a simple format. Still open, we haven't confirmed. Still open, we still need. Still open, we're waiting on. And here's the key. Don't list everything. Only list the items that are actually blocking progress. Because once you name what's still open, you can move the thread forward fast. Bullet number 3. Now you're going to narrow the thread down to what your executive actually needs to respond to. Because a long email thread can include a lot of discussion, but not all of it belongs on your executive's plate. So here's the question you ask yourself. What needs my executive's answer, approval, or final decision? You're looking for one of 3 things. A decision only they can make, an approval that has to come from them, or a direct response that unblocks the next step. And when you find it, keep it plain and direct. You can write, exec needs to approve, or exec needs to decide. If you read the thread and realize nothing truly requires them, that's a win. Write, no exec response needed. One quick tip. Keep this section tight. Ideally 1, maybe 2 items. If you have a long list here, it usually means the team hasn't sorted the thread yet. And once you've identified what your executive needs to respond to, the next thing you'll pull is the deadline. Because decisions without dates turn into delays. Bullet number 4. Now you're going to pull the due dates, because a thread can sound productive, but without a date, nothing moves. So ask yourself, where is the deadline hiding? It might be obvious, like by Friday, or it might be implied, like before the client meeting or ahead of next week's review. When you find it, write it plainly. Due by. If no one stated a due date, don't make one up. Just write, no due date stated. And if you can, add one short line about why the date matters. If late, we miss the review. Or, if late, client impact. Or, if late, delays the launch. Because due dates keep threads from dragging on forever. This is how you protect momentum. Now you're ready for the final bullet, recommended next step, so you can turn the thread into action. Bullet number 5. You're going to choose the recommended next step. This is where you turn the thread into forward motion. So ask yourself, what is the single best next action that moves this forward today? Not 5 actions, not a list of ideas. The next best step. Then write it plainly. Next step. And here's what makes it actually work. Add the owner. Owner. Because "we should" doesn't move anything. A clear next step with a named owner does. If the next step depends on a decision, write that too, so it's clear what's blocking progress. Needs decision on. When you do this, you're not just summarizing a thread, you're leading the workflow. If your inbox is heavy, you're not alone. But here's the upgrade. Use AI as your first pass assistant, not your final voice. Here's how you do it. Step 1. Copy a messy email thread, just the key parts, into your AI tool. Then prompt it like this. Summarize this thread in 5 bullets. Identify. Start after your 5-bullet summary. Use AI for a first draft, save time. You will choose the tone plus polish the final message. Here's the simple part. You're going to ask AI for 2 versions of the reply. One version is short and firm, clear, direct, and to the point. The other version is warm and collaborative, still clear, but softer. This gives you choices, and you pick what matches your executive's style. Now you're going to do the part that AI can't do for you. You're going to make it sound like your executive. You pick the best draft, then do a quick edit for voice, clarity, and confidence. And before you hit send, you make sure the message ends with a clear next step and who owns it. Now let's talk about meeting notes, because this is where corporate EAs can instantly look more strategic. Most people take notes and then send a long recap, but leaders don't need a transcript. They need clarity. So after the meeting, ask yourself, what was decided? Who owns what? By when? What could block it? Then paste your notes into AI. Don't overthink it and don't clean them up. Just paste. Your goal is to turn messy notes into a decision summary. Okay, first, decisions made. This is the most important part of a decision summary because it prevents confusion and it stops people from rehashing the meeting later. So ask yourself, what did we actually decide? Not what we talked about, not what someone suggested. What was confirmed? Then write it plainly. Decision, blank. If nothing was decided, that's okay. Just write, no decisions made. Because that tells everyone the truth and makes it clear what still needs to happen. And one quick tip. If you hear words like, we agreed, we're moving forward, or let's do this, those are decision signals. Once you capture the decisions, the next bullet is owners, because decisions without owners don't move. Ask yourself, who is responsible for what? Because if there's no owner, the action doesn't happen. It just becomes, we talked about it. So write it in a simple format. Owner, action. If the meeting ends and no one is assigned, don't guess. Write, owner not assigned. That's helpful because it signals a follow-up is needed. One quick tip, keep it clean. One owner per action when possible. If too many people own something, usually no one owns it. Once owners are clear, the next bullet is deadlines, because owners without dates still delay. Now, deadlines. Because meetings can feel productive, but without dates, nothing moves. Ask yourself, what is due and when is it due? Sometimes it's specific, like Thursday at noon. Sometimes it's casual, like by end of week or before the client call. When you find it, write it plainly. Due, by. If no deadline was stated, don't invent one. Just write, no deadline stated. That's still helpful because it shows you exactly what needs follow-up. And when you can, connect the deadline to the owner or action so it's clear what's expected. Next, we'll capture risks or blockers, because deadlines are only realistic if we name what could slow things down. Now, risks and blockers. This is the part that keeps your summary realistic. Ask yourself, what could delay this? What's in the way? Maybe someone is waiting on approvals. Maybe information is missing. Maybe a vendor hasn't responded. Maybe a dependency has to happen first. Write it plainly. Risk, blocker, blank. If there are no blockers, that's great. Write no known blockers. And one quick tip, don't turn this into a worry list. Keep it to the top 1 to 3 issues that actually affect timelines or decisions. Once you name blockers, the last bullet is next steps, because now you can move forward with clarity. Now, next steps. This is where your meeting notes turn into action. Ask yourself, what happens next, starting today? Not a long list, just the next few steps that keep momentum. Write it plainly. Next step, blank. Then attach an owner. Owner, blank. And if you have it, attach a due date. Due, blank. Because a next step without an owner becomes a wish, and a next step without a date becomes a delay. Keep it short, 3 to 5 next steps max, so it stays readable and people actually follow it. And that's your decision summary. Decisions, owners, deadlines, risks, and next steps. Clear, short, and action-ready. Now we're going into a simple habit that builds trust fast, the weekly update. This isn't a long report. It's a short, structured message that helps leadership see what's moving, what's stuck, and what needs attention, without digging through emails. Ask yourself 4 questions. What did we win this week? What decisions are needed? What risks should we watch? And what are the top priorities next week? When you send this consistently, Friday afternoon or Monday morning, you become the person who brings clarity. And clarity is what creates trust. First, wins this week. This is where you make progress visible. Ask yourself, what moved forward because of the work this week? Not everything you did, just the wins that show momentum. Keep it to 3 max and write them plainly. Win, blank. And try to focus on outcomes, not activity. So instead of scheduled meetings, you might say, kept the project on track by resolving conflicts and confirming next steps. Wins help leaders see progress quickly, and it builds confidence that things are under control. Next, decisions needed. This is where you protect momentum. Ask yourself, what's stuck right now because someone needs to decide something? This could be an approval, a direction choice, or a yes or no decision. Keep this section tight, 2 items max, and write it plainly. Decision needed, blank. If you know the timing, add it, by, blank. Because decisions without timing tend to drift. This section helps leadership see exactly where they need to step in, without digging through a week of emails. Now, risks and watchouts. This is how you stay ahead of problems. Ask yourself, what could slow this down next week? What might turn into an issue if no one addresses it? This could be a delay from another team, missing information, a scheduling constraint, or a dependency. Keep it short, 2 items max, and write it plainly. Watch out, blank. And if you can, add 1 quick line about what would reduce the risk, so it's not just a warning, it's a solution. This section builds trust because it shows you're not reacting, you're anticipating. Now, next week priorities. This is where you set direction. Ask yourself, what are the top 3 things that must move forward next week? Not the whole list, just the priorities that create the most progress. Keep it to 3 max and write them plainly. Priority, blank. And if it helps, add an owner or a target date, just enough detail to keep it real. This section helps everyone start the week focused, and it makes you look organized, strategic, and reliable, because you're not just reacting to requests, you're guiding what matters most. Now we're at Workflow 5, SOPs. And I know some people hesitate here, so let me say it gently. Documenting your process doesn't make you replaceable, it makes you promotable. So step 1 is simple. Pick 1 repeatable process. Ask yourself, what do I do over and over that someone else could follow if I wrote it down? This could be onboarding a new leader, prepping for a weekly leadership meeting, travel planning, vendor setup, or how you handle calendar requests. Start small. Choose 1 process that happens often. Then write the title of it, because that becomes the name of your SOP. Once you've picked the process, the next step is to list the steps the way you actually do them. Then we'll let AI help you organize it. Step 2 is where most people get stuck, because they try to make it perfect. Don't. Ask yourself, what do I do first, next, and last? Then do a simple brain dump. Messy is fine. Write the steps in plain language, like you're explaining it to a smart coworker. Include the tools you use, templates, links, forms, email snippets, because that's what makes an SOP actually usable. And don't forget exceptions. If there are if-then moments, like, if it's urgent, do this, write those down too. Once you've dumped the steps, the next bullet is where AI helps you turn that messy list into a clean, one-page SOP. Now, step 3. This is where AI saves you time. Ask yourself, what is the purpose of this process? In one sentence, why does it exist and what does done right look like? Then you let AI organize your messy notes into a clean, one-page SOP with 5 parts: purpose, steps, templates, exceptions, and escalation. This makes your work transferable without losing your value, because what leaders promote is not just effort, it's systems. And when your process is written down, you can delegate pieces, train backups, and take on higher-level work, exactly what promotion-ready people do. Now, step 4. This is where you take back control. AI can organize your SOP, but you make it accurate and usable. Ask yourself, if someone new started tomorrow, could they follow this without coming to you every 5 minutes? If the answer is no, tighten it. Remove extra words. Keep it short. Replace vague phrases like handle it or follow up with specific actions like email X or update the tracker or send the calendar hold. Then confirm the key details: who owns what, when it happens, where the links are, and when to escalate. This step protects quality, and it makes your SOP feel professional, not generic. Now the last step: store it and reuse it. Ask yourself, where will I keep this so I can find it in 10 seconds when I need it? Pick one place, your SOP folder or Notion, and keep it consistent. Save it with a clear title and add a few tags like calendar, meetings, travel, or onboarding so it's searchable. And here's the real win. You don't write SOPs once. You build an SOP library. You reuse it every time, and you update it when something changes. This is how you scale your value, and that's what makes you promotion-ready. Let's recap what you just built, because this is a real system. For email threads, you use a 5-bullet summary so you're not drowning in the back and forth. For replies, you generate 2 draft options and then polish it so it sounds like you, clear and confident. For meetings, you turn notes into a decision summary: decisions, owners, deadlines, blockers, and next steps. For your weekly update, you build trust with wins, decisions needed, watchouts, and next priorities. And for SOPs, you start building a library that makes your value scalable and promotion-ready. Now here's your next step. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one workflow and use it today. And if you want the companion article and resources, comment "promotion" and I'll share them. Subscribe if you want weekly, step-by-step coaching for corporate executive assistants who want to stay indispensable in an AI workplace and position themselves for promotion. Let's recap what you just built, because this is a real system. For email threads, you use a 5-bullet summary so you're not drowning in the back and forth. For replies, you generate 2 draft options and then polish it so it sounds like you, clear and confident. For meetings, you turn notes into a decision summary: decisions, owners, deadlines, blockers, and next steps. For your weekly update, you build trust with wins, decisions needed, watchouts, and next priorities. And for SOPs, you start building a library that makes your value scalable and promotion-ready. Now here's your next step. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one workflow and use it today. And if you want the companion article and resources, comment promotion and I'll share them. Subscribe if you want weekly, step-by-step coaching for corporate executive assistants who want to stay indispensable in an AI workplace and position themselves for promotion.